My name is Sinead Healy. I'm the Orthopaedic CNM2 here in University Hospital Kerry, and my role is overseeing the joint replacement patients.
My name is Rena Sweeney. I work in the outpatients department. For the last nearly year now I've been nurse manager down there, overseeing like all the staff allocations, annual leave, all that.
Yeah, I started here in 1997, so over the years you build up a nice relationship with all the different disciplines, and there is a lovely working relationship in the hospital. And because it's a small hospital, I suppose everybody knows each other. And of course it's always nice to see new faces coming on board as well, and welcoming new staff. But it's a lovely hospital, genuinely, it's a lovely place really, to work. Yeah. I must say I'm happy coming into work every day, and that's a good thing to say. Kind of got that country culture kind of.
Yeah, well, I came from like a UK background, this was my first experience of an Irish hospital. But I'll never forget when I went upstairs, I was welcomed with a handshake, and I thought, hello, I've never had this before.
Yeah.
Do you know, and it is everywhere, like, it's lovely. But for me, Kerry is home. I was always going to come home, that was part of my life when I went for 10 years, and that was just to have fun. And I really did enjoy it, but I always said when I had children, I would come home, and I did. No regrets. Yeah. I'm a home bird.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm from Kerry as well, and I just think it's such a beautiful county, and in the summertime there, when you finish work, you've got maybe 7-8 beaches that you could go to in the evening. You've Killarney, there's a huge variety of places to go. So there's a lot to do. I like to run. I joined parkrun about 4 years ago, so my downtime is running. So I enjoy that, and I've made lots of new friends, and we go on trips every now and again. So. That is how I kind of de-stress, I suppose, and unwind after a busy day.
I don't have that energy.
You do.
I do not. Go home, start the dinner, and do job number 2, and then ready for bed. Declutter, yeah.
It's great if you need your life decluttered or your
house decluttered. I can do that.
Call me now. You can do that. My role is kind of elective, it's planned, so I suppose there's not a big surprises in my role. But for the patient, it can be quite surprising to what's involved. Some patients seem to think that having a hip or a knee replacement is reasonably straightforward surgery. But when they come to join school, they get a very good insight and overview as to what's involved.
It surprises people how actually busy it is down in outpatients, because we have like 35 consultants and their teams to deal with, and we deal with more specialities than anywhere else in the hospital. And say every day is a new day, if you like. Even when people come down to help from the wards and stuff, they're taken aback by just how busy outpatients is, because there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes that they don't see. People sitting in the waiting area don't actually realise what's going on behind the scenes. So yeah.
Such a big figure is.
Oh yeah, so we average about maybe 52,000 patients in a year. We average around 1,000 a week. You have to forward plan. You're never in today, like in this role now. I've noticed that you have to be tomorrow, you have to be the day after, you have to be next week, you have to be next month as well. You're forward planning all the time. Today's dealt with, I've done that last week. Unless you have somebody calls in sick, and then you have to plan B very quickly. But for the most point, you are ahead all the time in planning.
Rural hospitals, you are very dependent on your community services. And over the past few years, there are services that have expanded, and we have the CIT now, which is the community intervention team. So they visit patients in their home post-op, and they can give IV antibiotics, they can do wound care, and they can just do social visits to patients as well. So if a person was living on their own and just needed somebody to see how they're getting on post-discharge. So there are good services available in the community. I love the patient contact, I must say.
Yeah.
I think I've always enjoyed patient contact, and the part I really enjoy about this is that you do meet your patients on an ongoing basis, and you have that continuity of care.
You have
and
before, during and after.
Yeah, you do build up a relationship with them.
Like in an outpatient setting, you do get people to get devastating news.
That's right, yeah.
And on the day then, you have to support them as best you can. You have to find a quiet corner, bring them in, get them a cup of tea, talk them through, sort of what their treatment will be, what to expect, and we're always there as well. If you need us, call in, we'll have a chat. There's no family member with them when they get that news, and you have to send them, you know, eventually out the door and nobody there like with them.
Yeah.
I hate that. I want to go home with them then. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I hate that bit.
Yeah, there are some patients, you know, who are very much on their own. They don't have family supports, and it's not until they come into hospital that you realise it. So you can only put services in place as best possible for them afterwards. Then, so for example, with our patients, if they don't have social supports or family supports, we try and organise rehabilitation for them. So, you know, get them back on their feet and get them to a stage that they can self-care again, and that, you know, they're trying to find somebody to help them when they get home. They're vulnerable and they just need the support for the few weeks. So
we have a young boy that comes in his wheelchair, like, but you know, he just needs a special care as well. You know, there's just something that you know. And like we had a man recently, he's passed away, but like, you know, he needed special care when he came in as well. You know, but he loved us all and he loved seeing us, you know.
He's got the cup of tea
and the cup of tea and his scone and his soup and bread if he needed it. But we lost him last week, so just, you know, we were all upset about that. But you get to know them over the time, you see, like, so you can't switch it off, you know, when you go out the door. When you take off the uniform, it does come home with you.
Yes, it can do, yeah.
Yeah.